So DevStream 128 has just ended, and as usual we got a sneak peek at some upcoming new items and of course changes that will eventually, hopefully, make their way into Warframe at some point in the very near future. Like our next new Warframes, a Speedster, a Sonic, rest in peace Volt. You're no longer needed, we don't need you anymore, you and your big Toblerone penis. And of course the big chunky Warframe that they showed off as well, that's very early in development and apparently eats everything. This is a frame I actually really can't wait to get my hands on. Now I'll show them off in a few seconds. Now this was the last dev stream before TennoCon, so that they can knuckle down and get all of the stuff sorted that they need to sort before that convention actually hits. Now I'm going to show off the best bits of the dev stream first, and first up I want to show off the next new Warframe, which of course is a Speedster Warframe, a very fast, very agile Warframe. Its placeholder name was Running Man, which will definitely change. I mean, R.I.P Volt definitely changed from being Running Man. Running Man comes with a throttle mechanic. You could see a speed bar on the right side of the UI just above the dev camera frame, but this wasn't actually working during the dev stream because it is a work in development. Now this frame's visuals quiver a lot based on kinetic energy and apparently alter when he activates his fourth ability, which has a placeholder on it called Redline. Now he becomes, I guess, a bit more Gundam or more Jet-like. Kind of reminded me of Starscream. I don't know why, don't ask me why, but he just did. But his first ability looked like a dash in whatever direction you were actually aiming or facing. Even if you were mid-air, you could dash, kind of similar to Zephyr, so I guess R.I.P Zephyr as well. Now the names on his placeholder abilities were Kinetic Plating, Energy Transfer, Mach Rush, and Red Line. With this accent, none of those sounded good. But the kinetic plating did kind of sound interesting to me. Maybe some form of armor, maybe not, who knows. We're going to have to wait and see what these abilities actually do in a future dev stream sometime after TennoCon to see what this Warframe is actually like. Now, next up, let's take a look at the other new Warframe that they showed off on the dev stream, which is a very, very, very early concept Warframe. No idea what this Warframe is going to be called, but I fucking want it. I don't care. Forget your assets, your wisp. Forget your sexy Warframes. Give me Dad Bod Frame any day of the week. He likes sports. Go sports! Yells at the TV and reclines with a beer in his hand while telling you to go away because you're ruining his shows. I swear I don't have issues. Now this guy is bringing the fucking thickness. He is as chunky as it gets, and he has a huge damn mace by the looks of things, as well as maybe his signature weapon. So this heavy set Warframe, we are being told, basically eats everything. He basically eats bullets, friendly fire, drops, his own ammo, and even enemies themselves. Maybe even the damn Roombas, who knows. He will digest them and carry them around with him and store them up for charged attacks. Now, he does look really, really cool, and I will be disappointed if he isn't a tanky Warframe. Now, the mace looks amazing as well, his chisel cannonball, which apparently rotates like a crankshaft as you rev it up before you blow something across the head with it. So it's a rotating blender of death. Now, his arm also looked like it had some kind of a shield on it in the artist's impression, but that might just be his armor. Now, by the looks of things, you can expect his belly to open up. It kind of looks like there's a massive mouth there, and you could possibly expect a lot of jiggle physics as well. He has also got platform feet for whatever reason, because size matters apparently, and I genuinely can't wait to get a fat Warframe. We've had so many slim ones and so many good looking ones with really defined arses and features. Now we're going to get an absolute chunky boy. In before someone's writing in the comment section, Potato likes them thick. Now, the next item we got a look at was an artist's impression of the upcoming Sentient Tile Set for the New War storyline, and probably the big battle between the Sentients and Nata, Lotus, where we finally get to feckin' kill her. Probably within the Tau system, but it was confirmed that the new war quest will be this year, guaranteed, so just maybe don't hold your breath. Now, they also jumped into the tile set and ran around on a very basic model of it just to show it off for us. Now, it was a very eerie and broken down looking tile set, and Steve said that it was in a state of sentient construction, but there was a gateway that Rebecca passed through which warped her across from one platform to another, which was really cool, and she was doing this with her Tenno, so maybe this is part of the quest line, this area or something, and maybe it was Tenno only, or maybe she just did that for added value. Who knows? We'll know, I guess, when the update actually drops. Now next up we got a look at Wukong's deluxe skin, which seems to be still in the early stages of development, as well as them showing off some of Wukong's rework that is also in the early stages of that development. But I'd imagine that both of these will be released at the same time. It tends to be the way that they do things with some deluxe skins. Now, they seem to want Wukong's abilities to have more synergy between them. Right now, most people run him for Defy, and because of this, they've actually changed his Defy, which may be a nerf. It kind of sounded like a nerf, if we're being honest. But Defy is going to be a taunt, retaliate ability now, with Rebecca saying all of his other abilities will be buffed significantly to compensate for that change to his Defy. Now, like I said, if I'm being honest, the rework does sound like a nerf to that invincible Defy build, the Rage Defy build that a lot of us work with, but we didn't get to see the new Defy in action. We only got it described to us, so I'll hold off for now judging what Wukong's rework is going to be like. Now, because of his rework, Wukong will be given some new abilities and of course rework to his current abilities. Hair of the King is going to be where he can clone himself, and when you shoot, your clone will use his melee, and if you melee, your clone will shoot instead. So it's kind of a vice versa thing. Kind of like Equinox's clone, maybe it could have laser accuracy as well and not suffer from damage fall off, which would allow you to run around with a powerful shotgun, and the clone would use the shotgun while you go ham with your melee weapon, so the clone could wipe the floor with ranged enemies and not have to worry about, I guess, that damage fall off. Again, we gotta wait and see. This could be an absolute weak sauce update, maybe like Vobans, but we gotta wait and see. Now, Wukong's Cloud Walk will move faster, and you will gain a crit buff that scales the longer that you're in that cloud. So when you exit the cloud, you will have a bit of a damage buff. Now, his Defy, like I said, is being changed into a taunt and not a permanent invincibility like we have right now with Rage equipped. So he won't be that unkillable machine, but the new Defy apparently will give you a short window of invincibility, so it might not be too bad, while also returning damage from that taunt. Now, his Primal Fury, his big shtick, uses a similar mechanic to the Rage meter that Baruch has, while also giving you some gap closers while you swing your big stick around. Got Rick and Morty there. And the area of effect damaging ability as well, depending on whether you're aiming your weapon or not. So expect a monkey rework very, very soon. Now, Season 2 of Nightwave so far is named the Arlesteins, or something like that, but it is a placeholder name, and I guess we kind of know it's going to be infested based, but I'm sure we can expect that in the next month or so. Now, they did mention before that there would only be a very short downtime in between Nightwave series. Now, jumping from Nightwave, we're currently told that we are now, as of right now, on Melee 2.75. So it wasn't Melee 2.999999969, whatever the hell it was. It's 2.75 apparently. So we're not close to Melee 3.0 yet. They're still working on certain things for Melee 3.0, so don't expect it before TennoCon, but they did show off new finisher animations that are just a very rough idea and might not actually make it into the game. And the idea behind these is that you will be able to choose to finish a final enemy or a special type of enemy, and when you use a finisher on this enemy, it will drop extra loot. And the idea behind this is kind of tied to how finishers are done in the Doom franchise, according to Steve. Again, it's dev stuff that is still being worked on and might not make it into the game. Now, they also kind of briefly addressed the recent loot grind nerf or interaction that was added with the Jovian Concord update between the Chaser Kubro, the Desecrate Necros, Pilfering Hydroid, and of course Pilfering Strangledome as well. But they have said that they will try to properly address this in the next week or so. So these abilities overlapped and allowed you to get extra loot from bodies more than once, so you could basically double dip. It's been in the game for as long as I can remember, as long as any of these frames could kind of group up with one another. Players could bring a Desecrate Necros and a Pilfering Hydroid to farm extra resources, but now they have removed that interaction for the time being, which has rightfully pissed off players because you can no longer run farming squads, and it kind of makes bringing another farm frame besides Necros in your squad as kind of being pointless. But they might roll it back. Steve said it might be something that they roll back, but they'll address it over the next week or so. Another thing that they spoke about during the dev stream was mission rewards, and it is something that they have always looked at when adding new game modes, or how to approach it so that once players get all of the rewards, they don't just drop that game mode forever. Arbitrations, Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, and now with, I guess, the Disruption game mode as well. It is something that has happened to a lot of players. It's a topic that apparently they speak about weekly, so it is something that they are looking at addressing, but right now there is nothing major in the works, which, I'll be honest, again, is a big shame. Rewards are something I feel, and I know a lot of you feel, should be better. Like right now, Disruption is a really fun game mode. I really enjoy it. But the rewards completely suck. Already, the Disruption game mode and I guess the Rope Below list rewards are more or less obtained by a lot of players on PC, and they now find themselves at the same stage that they were at, I guess, a week ago, with nothing really substantial to do in the game, or nothing to aim for, basically back to rinsing and repeating the sorties, daily mission grinds and so on, or maybe just logging in, watching your Roomba do a few donuts on your ship, and then logging back out. Like I said, it's something that definitely needs addressing. Give us some kind of long-term goals. Now, the next tile set to get a rework, we're being told, is the Corpus ship tile set, which is also one of the older tile sets in the game, along with what the Gas City one was before it got reworked. Now, we've been told to expect a rework similar to the Gas City rework in terms of scope, visuals complete with new things to do, possible new game modes, new boss, new enemy types, new weapons and so on, with plenty of lore sprinkled on top of it. So it looks like they're going to do this with a lot, I guess, of the tile set. The older ones, they're going to progress through them, giving them complete reworks. Now, we've also been told that crossplay between PC and consoles is not something that is currently on their radar, simply because of the way Warframe is constantly being updated, reworked and drastically changed. But they are looking at the possibility of cross progression, but they need to delve a little bit more into that information and what they would actually need to do for that to happen. So I guess cross progression is still better than none whatsoever, having to jump in between different consoles and different accounts. So maybe fingers crossed they could get it, and maybe down the line then we get crossplay as well. I kind of feel though, if you want crossplay right now, you have to jump to the Epic Store, and that's not something I want Warframe to ever have to fucking do just to get that crossplay going. So that's basically DevStream 128 with the fast Warframe, with the fat Warframe, with the Tau system, or I guess with the Sentient Tile Set, and of course everything that came with it that was shown off on it, and what you can expect to show up in the game this year, or maybe next. Now let me know what you liked the look of during the dev stream. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, or don't if you didn't. Subscribe for more Warframe, and as always, thanks very much for watching.